much over down there. The blue building is a new Tennessee State Museum. We are going over there and experience the billboard fans and see the images and figures on the fans.
It's Andrew Jackson, the 7th president, and along with his wife, Rachel, in her younger age, in that Andrew Jackson actually followed her all the way to Natchez, Mississippi, to marry her.
It's the ancient American sculpture, the pre-Columbian image, the figure right here found in Tennessee and Cumberland. It's created by indigenous people.
We're recording now.
So there you go, folks, right here. You can see this flattering image right here next to this guy. So we asked these folks right here to tell me what this folks are. Do you know who this person is? Anybody knows who this person is?
I'm not saying it's George Washington.
No.
No, who is it? Is it one of the oh Lord, that's
Well, I always admire history for that reason. I know about it, but also you can, out of curiosity, as you pass by, you see all the images. Go ahead, Google it. So, who is this person?
okay.
I honestly don't know, sir. I have no idea.
So this person is John Sevier. He was the very first Tennessee governor. And this person right here is Alex Haley. Alex Haley, he is the author and writer of the book Saga of American Family. So actually, he inspired the American genealogy. So ABC adopted his story in Tennessee. State Museum. This is going to be done by fall of 2018. So this is Roy Eckert. He's a it's all young, yeah. So there's all the history on it, all these images and videos inside the museum. They kind of form actually. You can see all their poles. There were 95 bushels, 95 bills. So all represent the 95 counties. That was started actually 1607 all the way to and full of images of the museum was open for so images that will be exhibited inside the museum next year, fall 2018.
Originally there, because when I saw this the first time, that was not in that spot. There was like a.
You're talking about the image?
Yeah, when I first walked by, I was sure that there was a different image in that spot, and then when I walked by again, it was there.
You're talking about that image right here, with Alex Haley and John Sevier.
No, it was black and white. It was.
Right, I try to give you so much. This squad. This is what is the image? What's the indication of that squad?
Well, is it the flight program? And you may ask me some questions I can't answer. Now, you can Google this flight, and you can pull history books out and read about this flight, and they'll give you answers. And if you read, say, well, this isn't always the case, but if you read 5 of them and 3 of them say the same thing, you would assume that's correct. That's not always true, but you could assume it's correct. So you asked me a question that I could only 2 things come to mind. the first thing that comes to mind, and this, I was trying to think of the date, so it probably doesn't apply, but it came to my mind first. So when you did the Confederate flag, in the Civil War, the Confederate battle flag, the rebel flag, was only carried by the Army of Tennessee, Longstreet. The rest of the armies of the Confederacy didn't carry the Confederate battle flag. But the Confederacy had a national flag. The national flag had a small stars and bars here, and it was white. But if you have an all-white flag, well, they had one. That wasn't the national flag. The Alabama had the white with Saint Pete. But so the flag, the national flag was white. So if the flag was hanging limp and it wasn't blowing, you would only see a white flag. They thought they would be surrendering. So they put a red stripe on the end of it so they would know they're not surrendering. Now,
Was it the back? Was
not
it
this,
white?
Yeah, now I'm talking about the Confederate flag, not this one. I'm talking about the Confederate flag. So they did that. Now, with the Tennessee state flag, if you were designing this flag, and if you had a red background, and you put the blue center with the white stars, that looks pretty plain. So somebody like Better Design thought, let's add the blue stripe and a white one on the end of it. It makes it appeal prettier. As far as I know, it just looks. And it sure does look better.
Yeah, so the Confederate North flag, the reason was that they just wouldn't flag in the limb.
Yeah, it was white, and it looked like they were surrendering, so they put a red stripe on it so they would know they weren't. It was their flag and they weren't surrendering. I didn't want to confuse you with the two flags. But the only reason Tennessee did this is just for looks.
So
as far as I know.
No, this is in Texas, right?
That is Texas.
Now, the Texas flag is the only flag that was high flag.
Okay, I was trying not to get.
Well, let me.
I mean, I somewhat know the answer, but
Well, let me answer this question. First of all, things that are supposed to do and things we do, you can do anything you want to. I could put the Tennessee flag 10 feet higher than the American flag if I wanted to, because I could right now. I could just raise it 10 feet higher.
it would be violation of any.
Well, let's talk about that violation. You know, the flag. They have a flag code. Now we have a flag code for the American flag. Well, if you look at any pictures of Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War, guess what? He used the American flag just like this one, as a tablecloth. I've got a picture of him, tablecloth. You can look, he's sitting there, and Grant's sitting over there, and there's a flag laying over the table, tablecloth. So now, the American flag. When you see it on the football field and on baseball fields, and they spread it over the field, it looks patriotic. It's against flag code. You're never supposed to display the American flag parallel with the ground. It says so on the flag code. So it's wrong. They do it, but it's wrong. And if this flag touches the ground, what are you supposed to do?
So
as far as I know.
No, this is in Texas, right?
That is Texas.
Now, the Texas flag is the only flag that was high flag.
Okay, I was trying not to get the water.
The ground we're supposed to burn it. Well, if we burned every flag that touched the ground, we'd have no flags, and we'd be out of money trying to buy it. That's stupid. So if your flag accidentally touches the ground, you pick it up, dust it off. I can tell you places, and maybe you can tell me in American history, that they laid the flag on the ground. You know where that would have been? They intentionally laid the American flag on the ground. Hundreds of them were laid on the ground intentionally in American history, not on graveyards. At least you're guessing. You want to take a guess, sir? Ma'am? Where did they lay flags on the ground intentionally? They were showing no disrespect to the flag at all. But why were they doing it? I'll give you a hint.
Grave.
June the 6th. What happened June the 6th in American history? I won't give you the year, I'll give you the day and the month. June the 6th. What happened on June the 6th, sir? You should know.
I should,
Yep.
but I don't.
June the 6th. I've been there. Well, you're close. Normandy Beach. They hit Normandy June the 6th. And thanks to the United States Army, I got to visit Normandy Beach, Omaha Beach. I've been there. And they laid the flag on the ground.
He is representing John Sevier. And John Sevier, if you go right here, they constructing the new Tennessee State Museum. His banners, billboards, all over places. Who is John Sevier? And he is representing John Sevier.
Well, actually, I'm Sam Houston, but I am Sevier too. I do both. And when I dress this way for both characters at times. But nobody knows who John Sevier is. Now, you live in Nashville or close to Nashville?
Where they live, I believe.
Okay, but and even well, other kids in other places in Tennessee know who John Sevier is.
Sevier County.
Yes, in Sevierville and Sevier Avenue and Governor John Sevier Highway, and there's only one statue in town of a bust of John Sevier, and it is in the Capitol. There's also in the Capitol, it was last time I saw it, a mural of the Over Mountain men that are on their way to Kings Mountain in 1780 to fight Patrick Ferguson. It's on the mural that's there. And don't ask me why, but there's a cemetery here with a John Sevier headstone. John Sevier was never buried here. Don't ask me why they put a headstone of him here in the cemetery. Maybe they want to keep him buried. And another reason is John Sevier and Andy Jackson, they didn't like each other at all whatsoever. And there's been humor and things brought up that they almost fought a duel. And John Sevier's horse with the dueling pistols got spooked and ran away, or they would have probably fought a duel. Now, John Sevier never dueled with Andy Jackson. One reason, I've always said, and I knew this 30-something years ago, that Sevier was smart. Because if he were to duel Jackson, Jackson probably would have killed him. Because Jackson fought many duels. You can Google it. And in some cases, I think Jackson fought 40 duels. You say, well, how can a man fight 40 duels? That's impossible.
When he died, he had
Well, he died. Well, that's what killed him. But let's say I challenge you to a duel, or you challenge me. We are going to fight a duel, but we may negotiate this duel. You know, you may say, or I may say, well, I really didn't mean what I said about your mother. Okay, I really didn't mean that. You may say, okay, I forgive you, and everything's good. Okay, supposedly we don't want to kill each other. Most duels did not kill people anyway. Most people with honor would shoot in the air or shoot away from the person. They wouldn't shoot them in the duel. That duel wasn't out there to kill somebody. That was just to get your honor back. If you Google duels in America, the greatest duel that you'll find, it'll come up #1, is the duel between, you know, Hamilton and Aaron Burr. Hamilton he wasn't then, but he used to be the treasurer of the United States, and he's on a $20 bill now, and Aaron Burr was the vice president. So the vice president, he had fought many duels also, but Burr's son was killed by the same pistols that he was killed with on the same place he was killed. And Hamilton actually wrote a letter before the duel and said he had no intentions of killing Burr, that he would not shoot Burr. And so when we went to the duel in New Jersey, everything's legal in New Jersey, and they went to New Jersey because it's against the law in New York. It's against the law in Tennessee to duel, by the way. You go to Kentucky, though, they don't care. But so,
one more time, the duel, you know where it came from. The origin of the duel, I believe, it came from biblically when we got it. It came from David and wife.
and dueling? I never thought of that.
Well, when they were fighting back then, there were only 2 persons.
That's true. There was only 2.
And God, his vision was there. It was effective vision. So
So when he got hit by that stone,
that's what he kept for. Yeah. But thanks to a bit of history.
Well, hey, yeah, I just learned too. I never thought of that.